We live in the land of the walking dead. Slaves procreate and recreate and simply follow where they're led. Misery being pushed like the drugs of the slums. Ghetto women addicted, looking for love. Deading their spirits and their minds, injecting themselves with the chains of DNA, then complain of being tired and lied to. I ask why people keep making babies that they're not looking after, letting the demons of the earth raise them and contribute to this pandemic disaster. Then want to cry out to a God that they don't serve, and get mad when the lessons never taught are finally learned when it's too late. All right, y'all. So I made a video recently about a tagment of lamentations I had about basically seeds and how weeds have seeds too. And sometimes how the things that other people see, say, or hear and regurgitate or make sure that our presence knows how they feel about it, how they resonate within us, and how important it is to uproot those seeds. Now, y'all know I'm a person of fairness, because I believe that when you point fingers at other people, you point forward back at yourself. So there's always a reason for anything that anybody does, good or bad, right? So I went back to look at a quick snip of a video that I did that day that I was out and about. And the snip of the video was actually because I heard this song that was playing on Pandora, and I wanted to match it with the video later on. And sometimes, like I said, for me, I don't go outside too often. When I do, it's to run a quick errand. Half the time, I really don't feel like going, so I'm going as is. I don't really, I go as is. I'm not trying to impress anybody. Nobody has eyes for me or anything like that, so I'm good with it. The consequences of that, everything has a consequence, is that sometimes I go out and I do look really crazy. So as I was looking at this video, I was like, oh, that's why people were looking like that, So it did look real bad. And looking from the guy's point of view that was looking, he was probably just like, I know that's not the lady that lived up the street. And then as I got closer, he was probably just like, oh, hell no. That's probably what he was thinking in his head. Like, like it just disgusted him to see that. I get it. No problem. But I think where the impact is that's making a difference for me now, and nothing's going to change, because sometimes, and that's what I said, being honoring and respecting ourselves as well. I mean, it took everything that I had for me to come outside and for me just to enjoy the day. So my day and how I go out and things is not for someone else. And, when I get to a point where, that's a priority for me, then that will be. As of right now, it's not a priority for me. So I will go outside. I will be looking like that on a lot of occasions, on many occasions. And the majority of people, 90% of people, and I have to accept this because this is a consequence of it, 90% of people, especially men folks, because men folks want to look at females, but when they see females like this, they want to throw up in their mouth a little bit, so it's okay, so it's with the understanding that, 90% of people, and the majority of people that are going to look are going to be males. 90% of people, men folk, are going to look, and when they look, this is what they're going to see. And just if I was on the outside looking in, as I was when I reviewed that video piece that y'all see playing over, no, I'm not on drugs. No, I'm not on crack. No, I'm not insane. Not any more or less than anyone else. We're all crazy in our own way. But yeah, that's what they have to see. So I have to understand that the consequence of me having that freedom to be like, okay, shit, I'm just going to get out here and get my stuff. That's the consequence of it, especially if you're not driving, because that looks even, is a proclamation of something different. So I get it. So, I'm not mad at anybody for giving me the eyeball. And the crazy guy that was looking at me that came from across the parking lot probably was looking to see, what the hell is that? I ain't scared of that. Let me go look, and then probably thought that I was mentally insane. So whatever. But for those of us that, we're on our healing journey, the appearance is just because we just want to get out there. We want to get what we have to get done and come on back. So to everyone that's going through that journey and, perhaps they go outside like that because, they don't have a friend or a mirror. I have mirrors, but, when I'm out, it's not a priority. So we all, just like everyone does things, according to their comfort level, according to their experience and perception, the same for, each side has a story. Mine is that I just want to get out and get my stuff. I really didn't feel like coming out there. I really didn't want to. I have 1,000,001 things at home that I need to do. And, truth be told, it may never get done. Well, it is slowly but surely. But I'll be looking like that a lot more often. Whenever I go out, it's going to be a very long time before that changes, to the flat also on-demand driver. My shoes did come that I ordered. So, but I won't be taking Valdosta on demand in a while because I have other things that are priorities. But thank you. Thank you to all the people that provide feedback, whether it's intentional, unintentional, because it puts you in a situation where you have to look close at yourself. And that was horrid because that little video clip matched completely up to the poem that I wrote a few years back about. Even this adds to the insanity. As y'all know, the camera on my fudging phone, it mutes out after a little bit for some reason. I don't know why. It's crazy. I think it's this version of phone I've had before. I got this one as a quote unquote free replacement for another device. And so it's just driving me absolutely nuts. But it's okay. So basically what I was saying was that the video that I shows me walking back and forth, that I took to put on a clip or something else, it depicts, the spirit of what those people are seeing. And the spirit of that poem that I wrote a few years ago that y'all heard, where it looks like a drug addict, a crackhead, whatever, but I'm not any of those things. But that is the appearance of it. But I'm not, never use drugs at all. Don't have any vices, including smoking or anything else that people usually have vices for. As y'all know, I do have my things that I do need to heal, and what it all stems from. And I'm very transparent and open about it. But anyways, if you get a chance, check out the merch. I don't know what I said before. I need to start double recording merch. You can scan the QR codes, and it all relates to this topic, the universe. There's so many different people, places, and variations of experiences that people had in this universe. And we need to take our time, if we can, to try to get to know a little bit about one of those diverse people in our universe. And also, you'll see the merch sticker coming up for Wildflower. And diversity shortly. Wildflower, you can scan the QR code for that. Again, I talked about how weeds have seeds too. And sometimes it's like the movie, The People Under the Stairs. You look at one and one person thinks the other person's the weed, the other person thinks the other person's the weed. Just like the people under the stairs, the people that were living think the ghosts were the dead ones and the ghosts thought that, it's all a matter of perception. If you read the poem, there's a poem called The Cookie Thief as well that touches on that too. And diversity, there's so many different diverse people, not just race and weight and age and height, but learning and experiences. So please, if you can, support the merch, support self-love for all of us. We grow in this community together. So please do, we need to understand each other and, allow each of us to have a joy. I understand, like I said, now I thoroughly understand the looks that I was getting. And that's all it is. Everybody has a reason. Everything happens for a reason. They say everything happens for a reason. Everybody has a reason for doing what they do and being how they are, And like I said, maybe there's no good or bad. Everybody does what they do according to their experiences. But anyways, I love you. Goodbye. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about seeds and weeds. I had to come out here and make a quick TP run. I'm enjoying this nice light walk in this lovely, slightly brisk weather. But I'm going to say this. If you're like me, I'm a peaceful person. I love being happy. I love being joyful. I like good things, right? And good things of the heart and spirit, fruits of the spirit, very basic. Every now and then, people talk about microaggressions. But every now and then you may have someone notice you, and in noticing you, they want to make sure that you know that they're noticing you and scrutinizing you, but they want to make sure that it is known also that there is no interaction, and that the thoughts that they have for you are ill. They want to make sure that you know it, that you observe it, that you see it, and that you feel it. And then they shall move on, with their day. And I have to say this, in these after legal years, I've had that happen a few times. And usually I'm so immersed in whatever I'm doing that I don't have time to pay attention to it, or I'm just trying to get from A to B. I don't have time to look at it, say anything. Or I'm really so much enraptured in my day and enjoying my day that I don't want to address it because I don't want to break the mood that I'm in. But I'm going to say this. When those types of things happen, those people are planting seeds, okay? And they may not have taken time to till the soil and plant the seed. They may have just took a seed of evil, hate, disrespect, something that's not something that you want to have planted in your soul and your spirit, and they just dropped it there. If you ever had kids that spitting apple seeds in the backyard, next thing you know, a tree grew up because all they did was spit a seed out. They weren't trying to plant anything. The same thing happens when people are careless, and drop seeds like that. But as the person that has that soil that person dropped the seed on, you don't have to address it with them right then and there and say, hey, you're a weed, you're growing weeds in my garden. But you continue on with your day, but you know that seed is there, and you make sure that you uproot it as soon as possible. And in whatever way that you can, whether it be you vlog about it, you journal about it, but you have to come to terms with that. You have to recognize it for what it is, acknowledge that it was a weed, something that was intended for ill, not for good, not anything to grow you, and make sure that you uproot it, destroy it, and take it out of your spirit immediately because it doesn't belong there. I love you. Bye.